want to thank everybody for coming out today. We're going to hear from Mari Mendonca, and is running for D8 to unseat everybody's second favorite council member, Mark Humbert. And Mari is in Botswana right now, but she's with us by phone, and we're going to play a brief statement from her, and then we're going to have question and answer with her from Botswana.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Mari Mendonca. I'm running for City Council District 8. I'm happy to join everyone this afternoon and get an opportunity to introduce myself. I want to thank Flip BCC for hosting the event and for accommodating my participation. I also want to thank all of the partner organizations that are forming the coalition to flip our Berkeley City Council this election. I want to also extend an invitation for folks to reach out to me beyond this forum. As I know, just the few minutes of introduction and the few minutes of question and answer, we will have limited time to really delve into and explore some of the depths of the concerns that we have for our community. I also understand that BCC has given a printed copy of all of the candidates' questionnaires that we submitted. So you will have more details in those questionnaires for yourself to look at and have more questions or get together in the future. Today, I guess I want to focus on the big reason why I'm running is I've been involved for over the last 10 years, starting with grassroots organizing in District 3, which was my former district, moving into serving on the Housing Advisory Commission, also an elected representative on the City of Berkeley Rent Stabilization Board. I got to serve as a member of the Community Advisory Group for the development at Ashby Bart and North Berkeley Bart. So I've been heavily involved. I've ran in campaigns, seen a lot of the behind the scenes that goes on with Berkeley politicking. I think we're at this crucial moment that we need an organization like Flip BCC to be encouraging leadership with integrity, because what we have seen over the last 10 years is that our leadership is not representing the folks in their neighborhoods and in their districts. They are heavily representing and being encouraged and running policies or pushing policies forward that serve special interest groups, predatory capitalist investments, and these are not serving our neighborhoods. Currently, we know that we have many local neighborhood shopping districts that are under threat. That would be Elmwood neighborhood, Solano, and North Shattuck. We know that they've been pushing for heavy surveillance. They're trying to push more for canine units and now implementing tear gas again. I'm curious why those are the big issues when we have so much work to take care of our communities. It kind of begs the question and gives a red flag as to why they are prioritizing these issues and neglecting the community's needs. That, I think, is my time. So I want to, again, please reach out to me beyond the forum. Happy to speak with people. Communication is really the way that we are going to be able to shift the things that we want to see here in Berkeley. Connection and communication. We have to work together. It's going to take all of us. People ask me as of late, like, what am I going to do to get elected? What are we going to do? This is a we thing. You know, we all have to work together. It's the power of us. We can do it. We need to do it. It's necessary at this moment. Let's take advantage of the opportunity. Thank you.
Do you support or oppose the Hopkins Street loss of parking and bike lanes?
Did you hear that? What?
Loss of parking.
Lots of parking. Sorry, I thought you said lots. Forgive me. No, I do not support the loss of parking and the bike lanes on Hopkins. And I'm definitely upset with what happened at the council meeting and the disregard for our seniors and disabled who have been speaking to folks for much longer than just the Hopkins Street about their concerns about some of these designs.
Now, I also noticed that you said that you opposed the use of flock cameras for Berkeley surveillance. Would you like to make a comment about that?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is, first of all, why are we leaning towards heavy surveillance? And again, they've prioritized this tear gas and the K-9 units and these types of issues. And like, are we planning for something? Safety is built by taking care of each other and building a robust community, right? So flock cameras, I don't believe in surveillance, and I don't believe in heavy policing. What we should be doing is, if we're taking care of one another, I don't think that we're going to have a lot of violence. You know, you build community, again, like I said, by taking care of our community, taking care of each other, and honoring the inequities by building equity and justice within our neighborhoods.
What about the building of upzoning and high-rises in the corridors of Solano, North Shattuck, and the Elmwood? Are you opposing or supporting that?
Definitely opposing that. I think it's common sense that the push for upzoning is definitely a land grab situation. We know that folks in our community, again, over these past many years, commodification of housing, and the so-called housing crisis is really a narrative built around predatory capitalists and housing realtor industries to land grab and extract wealth from our neighborhoods. So we know that that's not what's driving it, even though they want to pretend and make it sound like they care about housing. It's not housing the people who are in the most need of housing, and then again, disrespecting our neighborhoods, which if you look at the documentation, even the meetings around specifically my district, everything is, the rhetoric is all around respecting and honoring the neighborhood, yet when the neighborhood comes out to tell you what it needs, to my point earlier, we're not being listened to. And I've seen this, like I said, for the past number of years, that the neighborhood could be everybody in the room. And the electeds who are weighted in one direction or running certain agendas, you notice how they don't engage in a conversation to even explore. They didn't engage in a conversation with the disabled community to explore options. They have an agenda. It's clear what their agenda is, and they're just pushing it through. That's not what our Constitution claims, to have representation that is of the people, by the people.
Thank you very much. Do you support the council making resolutions regarding national and international policy?
I think that was part of our questionnaire, and injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So we have to speak out about injustice wherever it's happening. And one of the things I wanted to highlight in addition, which folks will see in the questionnaire, is that we not only need to speak about those things, but we can dig further into the injustices right here in our own backyard. So I think yes, and let's address all of injustice anywhere.
Thank you. Do you think that the police should be using tear gas?
Absolutely not.
Let's take some questions from the audience now.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Paul.
Hi.
You can't see this meeting, but you won't be surprised if there's hardly anyone here from South or West Berkeley like us, who look anything like us, who face what we do every day in our supposedly liberal hometown. I can't stay for the entire meeting, but I'd be stunned if any of the candidates address the issues that are of vital interest to those of us who fought our entire lives against Berkeley's up-north Jane Crow racism and are now battling against wholesale extinction. What would you say to those of us who are from here and are now being treated like strangers by outsiders for us to continue to feel invested and respected? Thank you.
As you know, I work heavily in community, and especially the most marginalized are folks of color. We know that Berkeley has a racist past, and there is systemic racism everywhere in the United States of America. So I am, like I said, an advocate for everyone And I'm definitely, like I said for the last question, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So we have to dig in further. And I'm, strongly committed to, pointing out, which I did when I was on the Rent Board Commission, we did a proclamation for Black Lives Matter. And if folks look that up, I definitely point out and talk about, and we have to not be afraid to talk about it. It's not that anybody's to blame or anyone's bad or wrong. It's just that there's work to do, and let's do it, and let's feel good about it, and let's continue to grow.
Thank you. Okay. Julia?
She wanted to, nobody can hear. So the question was really an acknowledgement of your work, Mari, that you did with Harriet Tubman, with the senior housing, the folks there, the tenants there, and if you'd like to say more about your work there, what you achieved, and what you hope more to achieve. Thanks.
Yeah, so the seniors at Harriet Tubman Terrace have actually done a lot of work organizing themselves as a Harriet Tubman Tenant Council. So they try to do what they can to come together to talk about important issues. And a big issue was they were bought by a private, public-private partnership in which they were treated very badly and not up to even the standards and codes when they were being remodeled, so-called remodeled. Unfortunately, the remodel was a downgrade to many of the amenities that they had, poor construction on things. Folks were not being moved properly under code for tenants in their condition. We made a video. They had been trying to reach out actually to the city manager and to city council and to many people to no avail. So we made a video and brought it to the Housing Advisory Commission, of which I was vice chair at the time. And then we were able to bring it to council and advocate for them for the city to put a budget towards an advocate for them to help address some of the issues. Sadly, we tried to actually reach out even above and beyond just our city, because this is actually kind of rampant in many low-income affordable housing, especially for seniors and disabled. So it is definitely a passion of mine to take care of our elders. I mean, it hurts my heart to know that they have contributed their entire lives to our communities and whatever other communities that they have, and that they're spending their senior years having to organize and advocate. Really says something about our society. So that's a little bit about that work.
Thank you.
Hi, Mari. This is Nagin. I have a question for you about one of the things you worked on, the anti-gentrification mapping that was done by the Rent Stabilization Board, and the findings of it and what it meant to the community.
Well, I guess we all know that anti-gentrification mapping is kind of maybe misnomer in a sense, because gentrification is happening. So, and I don't see we don't really see a lot of policy and such that's really getting at addressing that, unfortunately, because as we've seen, we're getting more market rate housing than we are affordable housing, and then the policies that they wanted to push for the infill housing is not actually, even though they were phrasing that as writing the redlining, no one is going to benefit from that was harmed by redlining. So it's kind of interesting. I think we say a lot of these beautiful things and ideas, but we're not really, and this is, I think, going back to Paul's point, right? And the other thing that I'm saying is, we're not really digging into gentrification and injustice and all of the things. We have created the right to return policy, and we did a lot of work on that, and I was on the Housing Advisory Commission when we started that. Healthy Black Families worked on that, and then we finally do have that policy, but gentrification is still very strong. So
Thank you very much.
Definitely more work to do on that. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, any other questions?
Hi, Mari. It's Kate Harrison. I had a question about what ideas you have for solving our budget problems other than taxing us.
Oh, but yeah, budget is something that I will have to say that I would have to dig into deeper. Obviously, if I'm elected, I'm going to look into different things because definitely I don't feel like taxing. I mean, here's the thing. I've said this last election. Our community is very passionate about taking care of our own community, and we have voted a lot of taxes. Homeowners have voted a lot of taxes to support many different things in our community. There are deeper and better ways that we can look at our budget. We know we've been audited, that our auditor audited the police department. There was a lot of overspending there. I know that if we actually dig into different areas that we will find funding that is, and resources that are possibly, being spent irresponsibly that could be tightened up. So I am very passionate about looking into that and making the kind of changes that we need and not just relying on raising taxes. But I also will say that wealth tax is something to look at too. Corporations and those who don't pay their fair share. So there are a lot of entities, billionaire corporations and whatnot that could be giving back to the community in a greater fashion.
Thank you. Would you like to make a closing statement?
I just have one quick question, Mari. Mari, it's Ilana, before you make your closing statement. Obviously, we have ranked choice voting here in Berkeley, and in order to defeat the incumbent, Humbert, there is one other candidate who's running against him. Would you be willing to consider a 1-2 strategy with that candidate?
So I think people have to kind of really think about that actually, because it's not necessarily, ranked choice is not necessarily something we should be using. It's designed, like if you have exceptional candidates and you have a 1-2, like a real true 1-2, you vote for those exceptional candidates. But at this point, in this race, we can have a 1. You don't need to use ranked choice voting. It is there to use, but it's used in specific circumstances. So my recommendation would be to vote 1. And you should pick who you want to win. You know what I'm saying? And I am passionate about my perspective about who you should choose, but people are free to choose whoever you want. You're going to get what you get. But what I know about who I am, and I think what the community knows about who I am, this is not my closing statement. This is my answer to this question, so is very unique to the leadership that we've seen in the city of Berkeley in a long time. So I will let the people do the math on that, but I know what to expect of myself, and I know what to believe in, and I know how hard I will work. And
You have 1 minute for a closing statement.
1 minute. Okay, well, what sets me aside from other candidates in my race is my unique life experience and education. My experience has given me the most relevant education to be a dynamic community leader and council member for District 8. It has educated me to understand differences, but more importantly, to understand how we can use our differences to educate and learn and grow our understanding of each other. In addition, my education and understanding about our history and our most powerful social justice movements has taught me to understand a very specific system of inequity and injustice, and to grow into a leader who is not afraid to address the reality of what's happening in our oppressive political culture. I have hands-on education working with union organizing. I organize with seniors at Harriet Tubman. I've served on the city's Housing Advisory Commission and learned about policy and the dangers of our current local culture of politicking. I learned even more about politics running in a campaign with the Right to Housing slate in 2020. I garnered a deeper understanding of the creation of policy and the systemic inequities that exacerbate harm to our communities as an elected official on the City of Berkeley Rent Board. All of these experiences have given me a deep understanding, inspiration, and confidence for working for and with my community. And my robust lived experience gives me a unique skill set for accountable leadership and needed change. And it doesn't also hurt that I was born and raised in Berkeley, and I have a profound connection to my city, and especially Elmwood, where I spent my formative years. My personal passion for people gives me an additional fearlessness to call out and fight for what is good for the whole. I actually understand, believe in, and know we can bring about a long overdue moral change for the benefit of all. This is a crucial moment in which we need to challenge ourselves to harness our true people power, essential for the future of Berkeley.
Thank you very much.